I wish I could be rock stars like these guys. Of millions, I often ask myself for my identity. I strive to seek it. In a way, I'm always trying to separate myself from the others, to rise from the masses and become something of my own. So join me on my journey as I intend to reach across the stars and to find myself, to go through pages and pages of other people's journeys to find my passions and to find myself. But who am I, you may ask? I am the Wordman. So let's start off with, what is this book about? Clay Cooper and his band were once the best of the best, the most feared and renowned crew of mercenaries this side of the Heartworld. Their glory days long past, the Mercs have grown apart and grown old, fat, drunk, or a combination of the three. Then an ex-bandmate turns up at Clay's door with a plea for help, the kind of mission that only the very brave or the very stupid would sign up for. It's time to get the band back together. That's what this book is about. Incredible fantasy standalone. I've been watching a lot of booktube for the past 3 or 4 years, and everybody has read this, and I didn't. And to be honest, I'm not like a newcomer in fantasy, but I'm like getting there. I'm reading more and more. I'm gonna start other huge series soon. But to be honest, this book's awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I saw it there and I was gonna get something else, but I was like, let me see. Everybody's reading this, and it's like rock stars, and I'm a big, huge fan of rock and roll. I love Megadeth, Metallica, Weezer. Yes, I do love Weezer. Cause I don't know, in my school there was this like thing where they didn't like this girl. My friend was a big, huge Weezer fan, and he went to guitar classes, same place as me. So he learned this song from Weezer, and so this girl in front of us, she turned and she was like, Weezer, like, how dare you like Weezer? And so I was just like, what's wrong with the Weezer? And so I heard the song. The song's Buddy Holly, by the way. You look just like Buddy Holly. No, I'm a terrible singer, but still. But anyways, I'm rambling on something else. But yeah, anyways, yeah, and this feels like that. This is really like if mercenaries were rock stars and were heroes and they were badasses. Except these guys are not badasses anymore. Now, the great thing that we're gonna start off here is hopefully, not hopefully. What am I saying? I'm not editing this, by the way. I want you guys to see how much of an idiot, kind of weird way I'm acting. Okay, I'm erratic today. But anyways, characters. That's what I wanted to talk about. That's what I wanted to say. I lost my focus for a bit, but yeah, characters. That's what I'm gonna start off with because this is my first kind of official fantasy review on the channel. But yeah, to be honest, this book is incredible. But what I wanna, okay, I'm gonna actually say, okay, so characters. So now we start off with Clay Cooper, who is this guy who has his family and everything, and like a classic, getting the band back together. His member Gabriel comes back, who's also his closest friend out of anybody. And you see that Clay Cooper is a guy who likes his life now. Like he's not one of those who's missing the glory days, and he's like, I want to go get back to those days. He's one of those guys who's like, I love my life here. And Gabriel is the kind of guy who's like, he was the hero and like this rock star kind of guy, but now he's just this really just fuck up. Like he screws up. He's an idiot. He's not an idiot, but he stumble. He's done a lot of things, and he comes begging for something that I'm not gonna reveal a little bit. Uh, I'm not gonna reveal that this mission, and the mission is very, very dangerous. Like, not just like to them, it's like overall dangerous, and it relates to their past. And so then you go and you meet each of these characters. You meet Moog, who is their wizard, and really that is really just this kind of like this nerd. Like he's that nerd guy that knows everything about this one specific place. And that's the thing that Nicholas Eames does great. He brings this world to life by giving it its own things. Like he gives it its own disease, its own scientists and like nature people and all that done kind of things. And Moog is really where you start to see that this world is really just more than just mercenaries or your classic fantasy story, where it's a lot more chaotic and huge and big, but at the same time it has these rules and it has these things that make it much more relatable. That this disease, it kind of reminds you of diseases in our world, which probably did influence this, and it's incredibly. You go on to meet Matrix. Now, Matrix, to be honest, is the king of one specific kingdom and everything, but he's pretty much a lazy idiot now, and you see him trying to get back, and that's a whole another adventure. But it's and then from there you go and you meet Ganelon, who was imprisoned, and so entirely different from them. But what makes Nicholas seem so great is that he fleshes out each character. He has just this one standalone book, but he does it in an incredible way where you can distinctly tell who's Moog, who's Clay, who's Ganelon, who's Matrix, who's Gabriel. Like, who are these mercenaries? You understand that this guy's like this guy's like this, and he makes them flesh out, and he fleshes them out to the point where you start caring for them. You start caring for the goals and the motivations that are there, and then next thing you know, you're not like crying, but you're like invested in the story that is really just like this Suicide Squad, like, right? Yeah, that's what I was looking. This is like James Gunn, not James Gunn's, not David Ayer's version, not David Ayer's, but like what that 2016 film was. This is like James Gunn's Suicide Squad. All these weird, zany characters and people coming together for this insane kind of mission that only stupid people or like brave people will go for, and that's what this is. And over the course, he fleshes out this world. This world is full of these different monsters, different things, and he fleshes them out to the point where you can see that, oh yeah, this is what this world must be, and he makes it seem cool. He doesn't make it seem just like a fantasy world. Like, I'm not saying other worlds do that, but Lord of the Rings, for example, the worlds are fleshed out, but there's always like, this is like the good side, the bad side, the battles, and it's cool, but it's nice and it's amazing and it's incredible. Don't get It's my favorite fantasy, but I'm not hitting on it. But yeah, but this makes the world seem so cool that it's for your taking. That, this is all out there. Go out there, have fun. Just do insane shit, whatever you want. And it's so fun, and they flesh it out. Now, the character arcs in this story are incredibly done, and they're done in where from the start to the end, every character gets this nice arc where they learn something and they change in a way, and you care. And this suicide mission that they go on, it's done in a way where it's not too fast paced and it's not too slow paced. It's done perfectly where from each moment to the next, you're engaged in everything that's happening. Now, to be honest, Clay Cooper was my favorite because Clay is the most intriguing character. He's a character that you follow. He's the one you're following as you meet everybody else. But he's the one that is intriguing because he is the one who's the most fucked up out of all of them. He's the most who's seen a lot. His tragic backstory is really horrible, and you see that this is really affecting him. That this is really killing him to be on this journey because he's done. He doesn't want to be this brutal guy. He wants to be back home with his family. He's tired. But you see that he's also a good friend that he can't stop, but he wants to come there. And so yeah, and it's engaging because by the end they all learn something and they take away with something that is epic, and you realize why all these things have happened. Now, to be granted, this story is really an incredible story because of all this, but it's also a wild ride that you can just have fun. It's like one of those great movies like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. If you ever seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, if you haven't, go watch that movie. But it's just pure fun with incredible characters, incredible story, and it's just like a story that you're gonna read and you're gonna be like a great time, just a great time, and that's what this story. Now, to move on to the bad, like, this is stuff that might bother other people. It didn't bother me. There is a little bit tropey, and by tropey, not like fantasy tropey, but like tropes of these stories where you kind of understand that these motivations and these things that these characters wishes for, they are gonna get it. You kind of understand and you realize that, yeah, they're probably gonna gonna get this in this way and this way, and you kind of understand where some places, and not a lot, like there's one or two places where like, oh yeah, I've seen this from a movie, or I've seen this in other books where this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, and so that might be horrible for you otherwise. Yeah, this is an incredible book, and if you're like just like, oh, 16, 15, 18 books or fantasy series, so long, so hectic, 300, 400, pick this up. Pick this up. Just read it in between. Have a great blast. Incredible book. You're gonna leave with good memories, I guarantee it. This is not a snooze fest. I give this book, and I say it again, and I'm gonna say it louder, I give this book and hell of a good time. That's what I'm thinking. Hell of a good time. I didn't finish that thought, but still, it's a hell of a good time. So yeah, if you have not read this, please read it. If you have read this, tell me in the comments below what you guys think about it, and please tell me what else would you want me to read, because I'm always down to read, and this is a reading channel. So yeah, and please subscribe if you're new here, which you are, because this is my first review. So most likely 98% of you are new here, so you better subscribe. I want all of you to subscribe, please, and keep watching. We got more content coming up.